Pokemon started out in 1996. It was first video game released in Japan. There was Pokemon Red, Pokemon Green, and there was a trading card game. It was an anime show, and it's just grown and grown from there. I would say that most people have no idea that there's a really, really competitive side to the trading card game.
Whenever I tell someone that I played a Pokemon trading card game, they'll be like, oh, I didn't know there was a competitive game. I knew there were cards, but...
They kind of give me that look, and then I'm like, I've been all over the world, and like, this is what I've been doing for my entire life.
It's just kind of crazy that Pokemon gave us this opportunity to go to Brazil, Australia, America.
When I'm explaining Pokemon to people, they usually automatically assume that's Pokemon Go. I think that they just have no idea how competitive the card game actually is. Their main reaction is just like, wow, type of thing. They can't believe it.
Well, if I had to describe myself, I wouldn't really start by saying I play Pokemon or something. I'm just a normal, like, teenager, a girl that likes to do some different stuff, like Pokemon.
From Germany, Kaya Ritzleitner!
I remember staring at, like, this box where they keep all the trophies from, like, third place to first place. And I remember staring at them and wanting one always. It was like the one dream I want to achieve while I'm playing the Pokemon game competitively.
Energy for the turn here, and Kaya is just an attack away from becoming your senior.
There it is, Kaya has become your senior world champion.
It's surprisingly heavy, yeah. It just felt very like great and amazing and almost surreal because I couldn't really believe it at first. So I don't know, after a week or something, I was like, oh, I really did that.
The World Championships is pomp and circumstance. I mean, it's this big celebration of what these incredible players have accomplished throughout the season, you know, earning their invites from smaller local tournaments all the way up to the bigger international championship tournaments that we hold.
Pokemon Worlds this year is being held in London. Every player's goal is to compete at the World Championship of Pokemon.
The World Championships is like the Super Bowl of Pokemon, where the best prove that they're actually the best, where you'll never see someone win Worlds and not be known.
So he's the main star of the show, not Kaya. So this is Min, our beloved guinea pig. We've had him for 2 years now, and ever since he's inspiring us with new deck ideas. We brought you into the game, basically, when you were, I don't know, how old were you?
I was 7.
7 years old?
Yeah. And in the beginning, I didn't want to play Pokemon, or at least not competitively.
I know, I made you play.
Yeah, you made me play it.
You need to play. You're gonna come along to this tournament.
Yeah, like I came along to the tournament.
Yeah, because
there was no juniors.
During that time, you had the best chance of winning.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily because you were good at playing, but you were the only one at that age division.
So I got free booster packs.
Right, so I got free booster packs.
Yes, so you got them. That was the whole reason I stopped playing.
No, but do you remember the first deck that you played?
Pyro.
Yes, Pyro.
Like, first they just cancelled EUIC, and we all thought, yeah, okay, it's gonna be away by then, and EUIC is gonna happen. But when it got like all shut off, all cancelled, it was like, of course we can understand. There was no way tournaments could have continued because of COVID. But it was very disappointing, and there was just like a big part of my life that I missed, or that just wasn't there from one day to the next. And then when the season got announced again, it was amazing. It felt incredible to hear that we will be playing from 2022 again. And I was just so excited from the second it got announced, I was happy.
Yeah, I remember you posted it on Twitter, I guess. But everybody did.
Yeah, but it was great.
Everybody was relieved and happy.
But I think it's pretty good now.
Yeah, they made it work, obviously.
Yeah, they made it work.
EUIC is going to be huge. It's the very first international championships back from COVID.
The energy is just electrifying. People are so hyped up, they're ready to go, they're prepared. The idea of going to a new country and doing what everybody loves to do here, play Pokemon, it's like the dream come true.
Live events were announced, and I was like, you know, I gotta find out who I'm gonna work with, because that's the biggest thing about Pokemon. It's a one-on-one game, right? I'm on this side of the table, they're on that side of the table, but in reality, it's a team effort. You gotta have people with you that are playing against you, that are building your deck. Me and John, we've always been close, and so whenever the year started, I messaged John and I was like, yo, we're working together, right?
And I was like, yes, absolutely. Both of us were doing the best we had ever done in the game, and we just kind of had it just like snatched away from us just like that. So we still have that like passion and fire to like want to be the best.
Only having 2 people really isn't ideal for testing. You want at least 4 or 5 so you can get multiple games running at once, multiple ideas flowing.
A testing group is a group of players that come together, play a lot of games, and try to solve the format, meaning we try to find the best combination of 60 cards that we can bring to any given event. Most importantly, we root for each other at the tournament, have fun, and become lifelong friends, hopefully. This is for your documentary.
They're recording.
They're not going to use that, and if they do...
Sam Chen is kind of like the group dad. By the way, he takes care of everyone. He's very kind.
I am the oldest in the group. I'm 32.
I'm the youngest out of them. I'm the only senior. Everyone else is about 2 to 10 or 15 years older than me.
It feels great to have Reagan on the team and testing with us. I think Reagan offers a different perspective.
We don't care what deck does well. We just want to see the matchups and learn is the most important thing.
I have not realized that.
Zay, help me out. So don't tell me anything
I'm
yet.
not gonna do it, I'm not tell you. Ultimately, the job of a testing group is to make each person in the group better, and through that, do well at events. Going into this, we really want to get that big major win. So winning the IC, winning Worlds, I think that's the next goal for our group, is just getting that huge win with one of the decks we made. Hello, my name is Isaiah Radner, and I think I'm going to top 8 EUIC.
Hi, my name is Sam Chen, and I will make it at least 4 rounds at the EUIC.
Hi, my name is John Ing, and I will make it 1 more round than Sam Chen does at this tournament.
Hi, my name is Reagan Rutzloff, and I think I'm going to top 8 the event.
So this area right here is where people are going to queue to have their COVID status checked, have their vaccination status checked.
It is funny. When I tell people, they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I do a lot of stuff. I work as a part-time watch repair, and I'm a Pokemon judge. And they're like, you're a Pokemon what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a Pokemon judge. Pokemon have me go all over the world to make sure that these events are run fair, fast, and that they're fun.
So if you think that's fine, I will go downstairs, but if you need me here, I stay here.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'll try to be here at 9.
9 is fine.
Okay, thank you.
When I found out that I would be judging the EUIC, I jumped a little bit because I was really happy, because it was 2 years of no events at all, especially for me that I'm from Argentina.
Everybody else, let's go to your position so we can start giving people tickets and having them at the flag.
We're prepping, trying to get everything ready, and you hear 5 minutes before doors open. It hypes everyone up in the venue. And then as a player, just standing in line, waiting, and then the doors open and you walk in.
It's like magic, you know, because they start the event, they start the tournament at that moment.
Hi. Hiya. You can come in. Welcome.
What I missed the
morning.
most during the pandemic was not being able to see my Pokémon friends from other countries.
Pode? Quer abraçar?
Abraçar.
Tá bom.
Hola. ¿Todo bien? ¿Tudo bem? ¿Estão prontos para jogar? Mais ou menos.
Pronto é uma palavra forte.
Bueno, muita sorte.
Obrigado.
Boa sorte.
Boa sorte para você.
Boa sorte.
Hello trainers and welcome to the Pokémon Trading Card Game European International Championships 2022 from the lovely Frankfurt, Germany.
Man, it feels good to be back. And International Championships, it's been so long, but we're finally here.
When things shut down for COVID, I was doing the best I had ever done in Pokemon. It was before I had graduated high school, so it was my senior year, and I was like, before I go off to college and I have to like all these responsibilities, I really want to show people what's up. Like I want to be like, all right, you may like me, you may not like me, but at least you can know that John Ing is one of the best players in the game.
John is a player that's recently gained a lot of recognition and respect in Pokemon. Now, he doesn't have that big top 8 yet at EUIC or Worlds. I mean, for him, it would really cement himself as one of the top players in the game by doing well in this event.
Let's go.
I thank you for this great opportunity to be in Frankfurt with my friends, and thank you for the experience of playing Pokemon. I pray that you would give us all great draws today, and we have an amazing time here.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Praying for great draws is a great idea.
Hey, good luck, Simon. You got this.
Good luck, boys.
I live in Los Angeles.
LA? Oh, have you traveled? No, wait, you traveled for this?
Oh, I did, yes.
Chasing that invite as well.
I'm 6 points away.
Because I'm a senior and not a master yet, I'll be playing on Saturday. I will just be hanging around the hall, probably testing all day with some of my friends who are also seniors. And maybe my brother will see some new decks or some cards he might switch in my deck while he's playing.
I think the biggest challenge of this season is picking what deck to play, because what if I hit this rogue deck that a senior's gonna play?
One really unique thing about the Pokemon TCG, a lot of the game is decided before you even start the match, because you pick the 60 cards that you play with every game, and you don't change them throughout the tournament. So probably the most important part of preparing for a tournament and honestly doing well is making sure that you have the perfect 60 cards to bring to an event.
Everybody in the group he's known. Obviously, he used to test with mostly just seniors, but all his senior friends aged up. It's a blessing for Reagan because he has some great minds that he's able to test with.
The final deck decision I make is always with my brother. Both my brothers have a saying in it, but it usually depends on which brother I'm testing with. For example, there was a time period where I just played with Dario. Sometimes I am a bit stubborn and say, no, I want to play this deck, but it's usually just my brothers and I.
Pokemon is a game that at the surface seems simple, but behind the scenes and during the day, it is ruthless. 50-minute rounds for 9 rounds on a single day. For some decks that are a lot more complicated, that have some more success, it is no easy task. You have to look through every micro decision. It all adds up and it can take a toll on you.
Welcome back, Pokemon players. You were ready to get into the last round of Swiss action. It's going to be John Ing up against Isaiah Bradner.
On the spectrum of casual to super competitive, I'm like over here on super competitive. As most relationships in Pokemon start, my relationship with Isaiah started out as a kind of like a rivalry.
The first tournament, John did not like me very much. Like, he actually despised me because I beat him and I was not good.
It was my last year in seniors, and I was poised to be like one of the better players in the game. No one had heard of Isaiah. He came out of nowhere and destroyed all of us in the early season, and we were just like, so, like, who is this kid?
At my first ever state tournament, I played against John, and I ended up losing to him 2-1. And I remember he walked up to my dad after, and John said, your son's gonna be really good at Pokemon one day. He should continue doing it, you should encourage him to do it. That meant a lot to me as a new player looking up to John.
And this is what it comes down to, the final Swiss round. Win this round, make it to day 2, lose this round, and you are done playing in this tournament.
So the stars kind of had to align for that match to happen.
It was kind of bittersweet because I really didn't want to hit John because I want us both to make day 2. That's the best case scenario, but I also knew the matchup was good for me. And so going up, I wasn't exactly upset about the matchup, but I wish it hadn't been John.
There's the trading court. The level ball here can guarantee it.
Yes, there it is.
There's the scoop
up net. Scoop up net can pick up the active. Training Court grabs the energy out of the discard pile, and Isaiah Bradner wins the win and in match, defeating John Ing to move on to day 2 at EUIC.
Whenever it's a big loss, I definitely need, and it's like getting in my head, I definitely will need like a friend to like rant to about how everything went wrong and just like, and then give me like 20 minutes and I'll be like back on my feet like, all right, this is just the reality of the situation.
I think that you couldn't have wrote it better than it was me and John. We roomed together, we were here together, we tested together, and then we played in the final round of day one, so.
If I had to lose to anyone, I'm glad it was him. It was his first day 2 at International, so I was really happy for him to get there.
All you need is one more win, and you and a friend are close. You kind of maybe joke about it and say, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we had to play each other, not hoping to? And when that feeling happens, when you look at the pairings that go up for the round, it's crushing because you both want to be in that position where you're celebrating at the end of the day. Hey, I won my match. I won too. We're both going to be here in day 2.
After the game, I mean, we hugged it out. John and me are super close, so I really can't say more about that than that we're brothers.
So they're holding the seniors start time for a little bit. She needs to have a little meeting with her judges. And then you and I are going to cover the juniors. Is that okay? Okay. Are we good to go? Okay, go ahead and let Jürgen know that you're ready to start.
For Kaya, the pressure's on. You're considered to be one of the best seniors in the game. You won the World Championships in 2019 in the seniors division. You've won an international championship as well. People are expecting you to perform. The pressure is there, the expectations are there, and you've shown before in the past the results are there.
It doesn't really matter that I've won Worlds. I'll still see like the big Pikachu trophy as a goal I have. I'm usually very nervous before a tournament, and I don't know, I think it calms down after the first round when I started playing.
On the one side, she's very competitive and trying to giving her best, and she's obviously disappointed if she's not at the top, either in grades at school or when we're talking about Pokemon tournaments.
I usually don't do that great at the first IC each season, but afterwards, I don't know if I'm motivated by it or anything, but I maybe try harder to achieve things or test more.
I was too hard sometimes to her, but I was teaching her not only the trading card game, but also a matter of developing her character, of achieving something. That you have to go through a certain difficult process in order to accomplish anything. And I think that was the teaching that she applied to different parts of her life, also in school.
When I first met Kaya, she was a junior, and I met her at EUIC, and I was playing some of the kids, and she comes up and she's like, "Can I play you?" I said, "Sure." And so we're playing, and she just destroys me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl, she is going places. The way she played was just flawless. I don't know, I get excited when I see young women really achieve big things in the Pokemon community. I'm here for it.
So I think a lot of seniors have that mentality that this year's all out, and this is my last year in seniors. This is a year that I can top 8 worlds. I can get a Pikachu trophy.
Is Reagan doing well?
Not really. Yeah. Yep, here we go. Into my round 6, I ended up losing, and then I was really, bummed out because I couldn't make top 8 at that point. Yeah, I should have won, but I didn't, so, you move on.
So it's kind of scary in the beginning, not doing great at all, and then having to come back later in the season.
Not making top 16 definitely hurts, and especially getting 17th, being right there.
So where are you from?
From Poland.
How long a trip is that, or how flight?
Actually, by a plane, it's not that long.
Test. Okay.
Yeah, check.
Test player 2. Judge 2. Can you hear me?
On the right.
Sweet.
Ready? Let's go.
Okay.
Right.
So left is here, right?
Left, yeah.
This is kind of like a worst-case scenario for Isaiah.
He really doesn't have much in terms of pressure at all this turn.
Whenever you're going into a tournament, obviously there's day 2. And then once you make day 2, the next thing is you want to make top 8.
And we do see the announcement of the attack. Isaiah's taking 2 prizes.
Escape rope, and that gets him back into his Urshifu VMAX. And that was much more of a sweat than Isaiah wanted, but he's got himself another precious win.
Well, you're giving it success. In fact, you're undefeated today. You've got 2 more rounds to try to get there in the top 8 cut. Congratulations, man, again on your win. And yeah, casters, we'll send it back to you.
Love you.
Dude, you did it.
I know. You were like, no, I'm going 4-0. I did. I said I'm going 401.
After I finished day 1, I had been running hot in day 2. I was kind of like, all right, as long as I draw reasonable hands, then this deck is really good and I'm gonna crush it.
Isaiah ended up playing against Pedro Torres. He's won multiple ICs and Masters. He's known as one of the best players in the world. And he ended up losing a really close series in game 3 to him.
What's your like emotional takeaway from this weekend? How are you feeling?
I feel, right now, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I've been playing Pokemon a lot, but I ended up throwing my top 8 match, or at least I could have made a better play. And I remember I was really frustrated, and I was talking to my dad, and I was like, one thing that makes it so hard is that you never know whenever you'll get another chance to be in top 8. And to get that win. There's actually a story that my dad loves to tell. I lost my first round ever at a regionals, and I came over, I was crying, I was upset, and my dad was like, Isaiah, I'm sorry you didn't win, but remember, son, you know, we're here to have fun. And then I looked him in the eyes and I said, Dad, I'm not here to have fun, I'm here to win. And my dad said, well, you know, okay, son, then gather yourself, get back out there and see what you can do.
Before COVID, I was definitely taking like the game for granted. I was a teenager traveling the world doing what I loved with the people I loved. And when I had lost that for the 2 years, it really hit hard.
I think before it was like very important to me, like how I did at the tournament. But after this pandemic and seeing like your friends or connections being ripped away from you, spending these moments with my friends was like even more important to me than the actual results of the tournament.
2 years, it's a lot. The weekend was amazing. I had the time to catch up with my friends. I watched the finals with Mikey, who is a really good friend of mine.
Having close friends in Pokemon is the game. That's why I love it so much. That's why I love succeeding, is because I have all these people around me that care about me, and that's really why it all means so much.
160 KO? No! Yes, yes. No. 160.
We're living in a time where there's a lot of stuff that's just still like iffy and everybody's wearing masks, and it just felt like something normal. Seeing the joy on their faces, like it's so good to actually be back in that scene.
Oh yeah, and if you're a fan of the Pokemon Trading Card Game, which you really should be, it's a fantastic game. This is what we've been building up to all weekend, the Masters Final.
This testing group here in North America is looking really solid. I think there's a lot of good minds behind this group who care a lot about the game, who want to see success and are willing to put the time in.
After EUIC, the tournaments kind of never really stop. Like the next special event is in 2 weeks, then 1 week after that, and another one, and then there's like 2-week break for one, and 2-week break for NAC. So like testing will just like continue throughout that.
Reagan likes to play in everything, so no matter where the Pokemon tournament's going to be, that's where we're going to be. And then Worlds is obviously his ultimate goal. He wants a Pikachu pretty bad, so.
At Indy, I'm hoping to play the deck that beats all the other decks, you know, and make top 8 from there.